Why did you take the decision to pile the bodies on top of each other in a freezer?
What do you mean?
How did you conceivably sleep at night?
I slept well. Of course, at first I cried. It was up because I had to let go of all of that.
And you feel no remorse for that?
I would kill him again.
In 2015, the eviction of Mitchelle Blair from her Detroit home took a horrifying turn when the authorities made a shocking discovery. Mitchelle Blair, a 35-year-old woman facing financial struggles and unemployment, found herself on the brink of despair. Her inability to maintain stability in her life led to strained relationships and a growing sense of isolation. As the eviction process began, a crew entered Blair's home expecting a routine procedure. However, they were met with a bone-chilling sight. Hidden within a white deep freezer in the living room were the frozen bodies of two children, casting a sinister shadow over the entire neighborhood.
The type of abuse that you had to suffer as a kid?
You mean sexual abuse?
If that's what happened?
That definitely did happen to me. That's why I know exactly how would have grew up. I told my mother what happened to me. And the only thing she said was, it's over with, so what the you want me to do about it? What do you mean what I want you to do? You get what I'm saying? So all I could do is go back and sit in my room and just sit there and look stupid. I'm a kid.
Police quickly located Blair, who was found at a neighbor's house with her two remaining children. The absence of her other two children, Stephen Gage Berry and Stoney Ann Blair, raised alarm bells, setting off a frantic search for the missing sibling. During her interrogation, Mitchelle Blair shocked investigators with a confession that revealed the depths of her depravity.
This is a civil case. It's not a criminal case. We can and we will do it without you.
I never tried to say I didn't. I did it, but that does not negate the fact that they were never there for their children. I had to struggle with them all the time. They were never there.
You get
Steven,
your
you
chance.
know we had to beg you. Me, Steven, all of us used to cry for you, nigga.
You're not going to be able to
I'm
stay
good.
by there.
Come here.
She admitted to the cold-blooded murders of her own children, driven by a distorted sense of justice and a desire to protect her youngest son from alleged sexual abuse. Blair recounted the day she confronted her son about the alleged abuse, describing her overwhelming anger and anguish. In her twisted mind, she believed she was exacting a form of punishment and seeking retribution, ultimately descending into a dark abyss of violence and cruelty. The chilling details emerged as Blair provided a horrifying account of the torture inflicted upon her children. She subjected her son to scalding hot water, causing agonizing burns, and unleashed relentless beatings upon his young body, relishing in his suffering. After enduring 2 weeks of relentless torment, Stephen Gage Berry succumbed to his injuries, robbed of his childhood by the hands of his own mother. Mitchelle Blair callously placed his lifeless body in the deep freezer, forever sealing his tragic fate. Months later, Blair claimed that her other child, Stoney Ann Blair, was also involved in the alleged abuse of her youngest son. Fueling her distorted sense of justice, she subjected Stoney to a relentless campaign of starvation and brutal beatings, ultimately leading to the young girl's untimely demise.
I want to plead guilty to count 2, the premeditated murder of Stoney Blair,
Yes,
and count 3, the felony murder of Stephen Berry.
yes,
Okay. Am I correct that you want to plead guilty to those counts?
yes.
Okay. You understand that if I accept a guilty plea, you'll be subject to a mandatory sentence of life in the Michigan Department of Corrections without the possibility of parole for both cases.
I understand.
Okay.
Blair's chilling confession left the courtroom in a state of disbelief and horror. Her lack of remorse and the absence of substantiating evidence surrounding the alleged abuse left the community grappling with the unimaginable depths of her crimes. The impact rippled far beyond the confines of the courtroom. In June 2015, Mitchelle Blair pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree premeditated murder. The court sentenced her to life in prison without the possibility of parole, ensuring that she would never walk free again. Her heinous acts serve as a haunting reminder of the darkness that can exist within the human soul.